Hi, welcome to Prime Recap. Today we will recap a curious story from the Love, Death and Robots series called The Drowned Giant. Let's follow a unique moment in the life of researcher Steven. A big storm the night before has possibly brought something ashore that is beyond human comprehension. What was heard from the fisherman's rumors could not be real. Upon reaching the beach, with his own eyes, he saw that immense giant lying on the sand. The curious comments of the population also surrounded that huge corpse. Steven reckons it was difficult to calculate his age, due to his colossal features. And despite its vast size being totally intriguing, after all it is not every day that we see fish swimming in the palm of the hand. The fact that a being of this size ever existed leaves even more doubt about human existence. Are we fragile and imperfect copies of that colossus? The fear that the onlookers had of approaching disappeared when a person climbed on the giant and showed that everything was fine. Apparently, they've found a new tourist spot to have fun. In Steven's own thinking, it looked like at any moment that giant would rise up and squash his curious, irritating little copies. It was already getting dark, so the scientist and his team decided to leave the place. It was 3 days before Steven returned to the beach and continued his observation. Many have already lost interest in the giant, except for a few children and a few young men who were planning to slice up the giant's body, cutting all the way to its femur. Which seems too morbid to me. What is the purpose of this? The next day, Steven decided that he would go in the late afternoon to gain access to the giant without the presence of many people. His body, which was already in the process of decomposition, now had an older appearance. Steven mustered up the courage to climb on the giant and observe everything from above. The left arm had already been torn off. The little humans were already playing the role of carnivores. The researcher reports the tragic end of that immense being. Alone as a ship stranded on the beach and demonstrates the evolution or rather the degradation of human behavior in relation to the giant. As a good tourist spot, we can notice some places to sit comfortably, such as curved and soft armchairs. The small cigarette butts indicate a large, unconventional ashtray. There is even an area for children to play on a slide and create their own sand castle. In the following days, more limbs were sliced from the giant, even with the help of a crane. Just as his skin became a mural of graffiti with drawings and symbols of all kinds. It didn't take long for the head to be ripped off, leaving only the trunk in an advanced stage of decomposition. Even more bizarre were people making stews out of their meat. A large-scale cannibalism, humans and seagulls sharing a beautiful dish. Months after the appearance of the giant, he was no longer remembered. Of course, except for its parts scattered all over the place, from bones buried in the sand or perhaps a simple butcher's sash that is now styled with a peculiar femur. The missing head, remember? There she was, an abandoned skull in an old cottage, secluded in the countryside. And certainly, the most bizarre thing, exposed in a circus, with a tent called Wonderland. An attraction without a doubt that raises the levels of madness of any visitor. Its reproductive organ is there, in a conservation tank, but it is reported that it belonged to a whale. Although the giant is now just a memory for many, it's interesting to think what we would do in that situation. Do you think consuming his meat is a smart thing to do? Is turning it into a tourist spot something macabre? And have you ever stopped to think, what if this is all an illusion in Steven's head? Maybe there really wasn't a giant human, just a beached whale. So what did you think of this story? Leave it in the comments below. And if you liked the video, please like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you next time.